Hey there, OAers. Welcome to the final episode of the OA podcast, where we have lots of opinions, but most of them are pretty average. I'm Anna.
And I'm Monica. You heard right. This is our final episode. I don't even know
Surprise!
if we should cheer
Or be sad or everything.
it's a little bittersweet, obviously. And I know to probably or whoever is listening, this is probably a surprise. Like we didn't really like lead up to it or
Mhm.
anything. It was kind of just something we decide. It is actually our 50th episode too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like a good rounding out to like the experience is
Mhm.
number 50.
Yes. And also, like, to share, we decided this a little, not like super long ago, but a couple episodes ago. I think
Mm,
when we recorded 48, maybe 47, 48, we knew or
mm,
we were in like discussing that 50 would probably be where, we would either, we talked about like maybe like lessening or ending or whatever, but we thought that 50 was like a nice, good number, right, Juan?
mm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't have an outline obviously for like this last episode. We kind of just wanted to make it like a chit chatty one. Kind of describe kind of like why we decided to end the thing. Our thing that we started off with was doing Am I the Asshole Reddit threads and like chatting about those. So I thought it would be funny if like our last one would be called Are We the Assholes? We're ending this podcast.
We can still call it that. I really,
I'm
really like,
still,
yeah, please, yeah. And
yeah.
we actually like thought of maybe, we like thought about different things. Like, our last episode that we just dropped was Am I the Asshole? And we were kind of
Mhm.
thinking, like, should we do it for the last? We thought of different iterations of like how this would go. But basically, we're just here, I guess, like popping on to like just let you guys know what was going on and kind of also, of course, like just we're extremely grateful for like guys, it's been 2 freaking years, like 50 episodes. We did it every other week for, pretty much like what, 50, what is it? 52 weeks in a year. So every other week gave us like 25 episodes type
Mhm.
almost. And I'm actually just really proud at like our consistency. Like we
Yeah.
really pretty much did like every other week. I messed up recently where
Oh,
Mon had to remind
we're
me
so
that
close to a
it was
perfect
like,
record.
yeah, it was like a Tuesday, and she messaged me. She's like, "Hey, what?" And I was like, Isn't it next week?" But I think that kind of like also leads up to like the fact that it was like time. Like, so, Mon, do you want to share? Like, I don't like you want to share why we're ending, or I don't really have like a specific like reason like we're ending it, or like we just feel like it's a good time. Of course, like we're like no bad blood. There's nothing like there's no drama or anything like that whatsoever. I will see you this weekend, but
Yeah.
yeah, nothing like that. But
Yeah, why why are we ending it? I don't know if we have a good reason. Um, I don't know if any reason is a good reason either.
yeah,
Maybe a reason is for those who don't know how podcasts work, they require a lot of time and money.
yeah,
And w I would say, yeah, we have time, obviously to sit down and, like, chat and whatever because we chat all the time.
mhm,
Um, but yeah, keeping the podcast running, while it's not expensive per se, like, on a monthly basis, but it's,
yeah,
like it does add up, like, after a while,
yeah.
and, like, it's just me and Anna, like, funding these things, all the
Mhm.
stuff that goes into, how to make it, like, the program that we're on, StreamYard, that requires a subscription. Um, we invested in editing software, Anna had to learn a whole new skill to edit. Like that's
Yeah.
a whole thing.
Yeah,
So
it's so crazy because I was editing and I was like, "Oh my god, this." I mean, and to be fair, like who knows, we might pop back on at a later time to chat, or if there's something that we wanted to discuss. So, I would say this is the final episode for now. Like who knows, right? Who knows what'll happen in the future? But when I was editing this last time, I was like, "Oh my god, this is could be the last time that I'm doing this." And you guys, I know I always use this in as excuse, but like I'm older than Mon. Mon is super tech savvy. Mon and Jay are very tech savvy. Ab and I are like the dinosaurs that are like trying to hang out or whatever.
no,
But like Mon,
no.
Mon taught me how to edit, and like this, it's not easy. It's so
Mm,
much work to edit a podcast. There's like, especially for us, we're doing it visually too, not just like, an audio of this podcast. So I mean, I think that for like we were talking about like things we wanted to chat about, like one of the challenges of doing the podcast is it's not just the 45 minutes that you guys see us chit chatting. There's hours behind the scenes that we
mm,
spend time putting everything together. And that's really, I think, just tiring. And I think we're just ready to kind of, take a break from that. And like it's not that it doesn't bring me joy anymore. I think I love like the final product, but it's just like
mhm.
that whole editing part definitely gets tedious. So
Yeah,
that was
I
the most
mean,
challenging part for me.
yeah, and I mean for me too, just in the sense of like having to edit just in general. Like I have already
Mhm.
edited like a whole bunch of things, but um editing a podcast is different because yes, you're catering to audio listeners and video watchers.
Mhm.
And having all the components together and wanting to make it entertaining both audibly and visually, yeah, it takes a lot of planning. And you know a lot of the times me and Anna are doing this like right after work. Like right now we
Yeah.
came from a long day of our full-time jobs,
Mhm.
um which are funding the things that we're
That
using
we're
to make
doing. Yeah.
these.
Yeah.
And um we're tired.
Yes. And Juan, I want to share. I don't know if I ever like I told you this and I told other people this, but this story about the first time I made a reel, like those
Oh.
fucking reels that
Oh,
that we
yeah.
when we do those twice. So for me, those reels were more challenging than these like hour-long edits. The
Yeah, that's a
first
whole different
reel,
type of
yeah,
editing
that's
thing.
a whole other thing that's done on a different program. And before we used to put like captions on them, which is a whole nother thing as well. But you guys, the very first reel that I edited, it took me, I want to say it was a 30-second to 45-second clip, 6 hours. I started over like several times. I cried. And I fought a couple times because he was trying to help me, and I was really, really frustrated. But this now, like I made a reel like a couple nights ago, and it took me like 30 minutes, to do it. It's
Yeah.
much quicker and you learn. But 2 years ago, like I had no clue how to do it. And I swear, like tears were shed on like making those reels. So yes, like that's one skill, I'm proud of that I learned from doing this. Like, now like I kind of know how to edit. So it's really interesting. But yeah.
Yeah. Um, oh, yeah, the whole, like, ending it, whether it's, like, to gain more time back or, um, yeah, lessen back on some subscriptions. Because, like Anna said, like, we were thinking about just lessening our uploads to accommodate just still uploading, but, um, a little bit more than, like, every 2 weeks. Because me and Anna take turns in editing for the most part, and sometimes like we can't predict our schedules. Like life happens a
Life
lot of the
happens.
times,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we want to be consistent. That I feel like we were pretty good at being consistent and planning ahead.
Mhm.
Um, but it does suck. Like if we can't commit to that, and it's kind of like all or nothing. We
Yeah.
can't just Oh, we'll upload whenever. And while that could be cool in the sense of just providing content and entertainment to like
Yeah.
people, um, it it doesn't make sense for us financially to maintain monthly, yearly subscriptions
Right, right. If
for
we're
like
very,
a one episode a month.
yeah.
Sometimes not that often either. So
One of the things that I also wanted to share that I just thought of, you and I never even discussed this, but it also became harder and harder to come up with topics that we like. What do you feel?
I learned something about us that, as great friends as we are, sometimes we're just not interested in the same
We are
things.
not yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
okay.
That's
And that's
okay.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
But
so, like, I wanna so for those that don't know, previously, Mon and I were really good. We would actually plan out our topics, like, quarterly.
we
Like,
had
we
a whole
would sit
spreadsheet.
yeah, we had a spreadsheet, but it was really, really hard, but there were some things where it was just like you know what's funny, Mon? The one that we never got to do was, like, love languages was one that, like, I think you pushed, like, many, many times, and, we just never really got to do it. And then I think like there were some like I wanted to do like during Halloween. I think I wanted to do like a seance or an exorcism or
Well, I don't
like
even remember that. I must have
like
blocked that out.
but like yeah, we don't like that. Not that we don't like we like very much a
We're
lot of the
different
same
people.
things, but we're just different, But not it's just like our topics. I think like towards the last couple of months were just like kind of hard to like think of stuff. And part of it I think is because we did so much already. I mean, this is like
Well, yeah, we're on
50
episode 50.
yeah, like literally, like, we've done so many topics already. So I think like I really like relate to like those content creators that do this like for a living, like have to always think of like a cool thing to like, have an episode on or whatever. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to do. So
No, it definitely takes a little bit more than just chatting, you know. And some people can get away with just chatting about whatever. Um, I've learned that we do need the help of a guideline for most of the
yes.
time. We could chat about stuff, but we do get derailed a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
But some people like that, some people don't. We haven't really figured out that part.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is probably as most casual and chit chatty and non-scripted. Not that anything's like scripted, but we don't have
Talking
anything to
points. Yeah.
follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And while we had talking points and intros and outros set up of yeah, I think we could have tried it out, but I don't know. I felt like there's maybe like a pressure outside to like be really good at it. I
Yeah,
mean,
of course. We're putting it
I would
out there.
say, yeah. I mean, would you say there's anything that you learned aside from like the editing part?
Mhm.
Would you say that like doing this podcast like helped you with something or like uh helped you learn something or whatever? Like, do you think you've changed at all from
I
doing this
don't think
podcast?
not like okay, so I was kind of thinking about this today and something that I learned throughout this whole process that there are really people out there like friends and family that will like really support you and listen and, I don't know, just be there, I guess is what I
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's really nice. That's really great. We
Yeah.
like you were saying earlier, like we have some really great supporters and listeners who enjoy listening to us for some
Our
reason.
nonsense, yeah.
And we always love hearing their reactions and um knowing that there is like someone out there who is either like relating to us
Mhm.
or enjoys to have us in their ear while they're like commuting or anything like that. It's like it's very cool because you're putting yourself out there and obviously another part of this whole podcast thing is like marketing
Mhm.
your own podcast, so it's kind
Yeah,
of like
I'm not good at that.
I mean, that was also the unfortunate thing is that, it's just us 2, so, we were divvying up, like, some responsibilities and, Anna was, like, doing most of the social stuff, and we're talking about, yeah, all of them, all the things that we list, Instagram,
Mhm.
TikTok, Threads, like, YouTube, it's like doing all of the uploads on every single platform, it's hard. It's hard to keep track of. It's hard to do for every single thing.
I could have
And
done better though. I think I could have done better.
but it's a job. Like
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of people don't realize that is also part of like
yeah.
the whole
Um,
podcasting thing. It's not just chatting, it's
right. Oh, yeah,
the
so much
planning and
more goes
editing,
into
the
it.
uploading, social
Something, um,
marketing.
something really cool that I wanted to share is one of our, this stuck with me. This is something that someone told me quite a while ago. So we have one of our listeners. I was hanging out with her and we were with her daughter and we were talking about the podcast. This was a while back. And I was like, yeah, we get like X amount of people listening to us. It's not like a whole lot of people, but it seems like we're getting like these types of numbers. And she had said something like, it may not seem like a lot to you, but imagine sitting in front of that many people and talking to those people and those people listening to you for an hour. And when she said that, this girl's a teenager and it really stuck to me like, wow, that's true. Like I am like at work, I hate presentations. I hate public speaking, even talking to just my group of like 20 people at work. And we had more people listening than that. So imagine
Mhm.
that sitting in front of that many people and doing that. It's if you visualize it like that, it's really something. So I am like, despite how hard it was and we have our small loyal group that listen to us. I'm like really proud of what you and I accomplished in these last 2 years.
Yeah, for sure. It was no easy feat. We had fun doing it.
Mhm.
Um, l- there is a chance we won't promise anything, but there is a chance that we could come back.
Always,
Um,
yeah.
one thing I don't know if we can include this either. Am I allowed to say that our account is actually on account?
I mean, no one listens. I don't know.
Okay, I won't say the like name or whatever,
Yeah, yeah,
because I don't want to dox like where you work at.
yeah.
Um, but so one of the other reasons I think we should end the podcast is there is a complication on the user end where actually our original YouTube channel, it was actually created on Anna's workplace email.
Oops.
We won't name it, but there is the possibility that for whatever reason, by some miracle, if we did blow up,
They would own
the word
us.
they would own us. So I thought if we end it here,
We can start
export
over. Yeah.
everything,
Yes,
delete that channel, and then create another one.
that's true. That is something we could
And
do.
do it separately without the
Yeah,
fear of
yeah,
possibly getting all of our monetaries
yeah, yeah.
removed.
Our sponsorships that we never got.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah,
While that's uh, a dream far, far out
yeah,
there, um, that was just in case.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to say that was probably also one of the reasons. There was like a little um editing mishap. We don't know how to change it. I don't know how to change it because I
I've
want to keep,
tried. Yeah.
but
Maybe we'll
it's
figure it out.
very complicated.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
I know we are having a potential sleepover in the next like
oh
month,
yeah,
right? Yeah. So
maybe.
maybe we'll do it then since we'll
Yeah,
have time and we'll be together and we can
yeah.
bring our devices and see if we can figure it out.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I think for me, I think I did grow. I think I said it when we were like first starting this podcast, like, what we hope to get from this podcast. I
Yeah.
think I wanted to work on like my public speaking and stuff. I think this has definitely helped me improve or like at least practice speaking. um, technically not in front of the public directly and in person in live or whatever.
Mhm.
But I think it's helped me in real life on like speaking in general. I'm like a super introverted person. I ain't trying to like talk to like people, but I think it's helped me at work. I think it's helped me like in public when I have to talk to strangers. It's just I feel a little bit more confident in my speaking. And yeah, I did notice a lot when we're editing. I pause a lot. And I'm sure you notice in your editing of
No,
my
it's
audio.
funny that I only listen to, not that I don't listen to you, but I notice the things
She
that I
doesn't
don't
listen
like
to me, you
about
guys.
myself. You know what I mean? Like how you pause, you say you pause. That's never ever like come to mind. I say like a lot, like I fucking edit that shit out all the time. And
Mm.
that's what I notice. Like that's probably what takes me so freaking long is that I'm taking
Just
out all
removing all
the
the
like
likes.
that I say. But it's just like, people, like you notice things about yourself that like no one else probably pays attention to. So it's probably a little bit of that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I learned a lot about myself during this experience, and I don't know. I feel like although we're ending it, yeah, it's stuff that we could apply to outside of here.
Yeah.
And I think it's made me enjoy like podcasts more, like listening to them, not just like us making them. But
Mhm.
I found myself like finding more podcasts to like listen to, and seeing how they do their formats, the whole production of it. And yeah, it gives me a lot more appreciation and respect for those
Yeah,
people who do those.
absolutely.
So,
It's
um,
funny, Ab and I, we don't listen to the same, like he doesn't really listen to podcasts, but like I listen to one like regularly, and he sometimes will listen with me, and he'll be like, "Oh my God, their sound is so bad." And there's a professional
oh,
podcast that like millions of people listening to. And I agree that it's just like when it's like, I know we have had mishaps, but come on, we're a low budget
mm,
production. You know what I mean? Like it's just us doing it, where this person has millions of followers and millions of listeners, and for the sound to be bad, it's just like kind of unacceptable, so you really like learn. But yeah, you definitely appreciate like how hard people work. You notice things that you probably wouldn't have thought of before.
mm,
It's probably like how Noah like watches films, and he sees things differently from like a casual watcher because he's a filmmaker. When we start
mm,
making podcasts, it's like different. Like you learn different things. So yeah, that's always a fun thing. Yeah. But I
yeah.
do have to say, like, I think like, the best part about this podcast is definitely like the time that I got to spend with you. Like, we as it's like I think we were really good. I don't really think it changes anything with us. Like we see each other very regularly. We were good friends before this podcast. I'm sure this experience like strengthened our relationship, but also, a big shout out to like the guests that we had on. Like it was always
Mhm.
so much fun when we had people on. Yeah, it was just such a fun experience. A really great like 2 years.
Yeah, for sure. I think, um, I was nervous at first, like, having any guests on in general, because 'cause I'm not a very good interviewer, much less, like, just speaking in general. So, to interview and I don't even know if we actually did the interview thing
Yeah,
right, we
I
just
don't
kinda
think we
chatted.
interviewed. I think we just chatted with people, or
I don't know, because I think there was a lot of talking points is like, "Oh, well, what do you think about this?"
Oh, that's true.
Or, "What do
That's
you
true.
think about
Yeah,
that?" Right?
in that sense.
So, I don't know, I think I saw ourselves being more like a just chat with us rather than being interviewers or whatever. But I think, like, you doing all of those "Am I the asshole?" things kind of allowed for a lot of just random chattering.
Conversation. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. Was there, Mon, do you have like a favorite topic that we would do? Or like, is there like standout like episodes that you thought were like, fun or interesting or
I think a standout one, and then I don't know if it's like recency bias or whatever, but I really did enjoy like our random like cleaning, spring cleaning episode. I mean, because it was just so random and
yeah,
we got to talk about random stuff. And
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
Jorge is like a great person to have on there, and Ab too. And it was just like, I don't know, there was no talking points. There was just, "What do you do for your
yeah.
washing
How do you
dishes?"
clean?
And
Yeah, yeah. It just spiraled from there. I
yeah.
think like one of the ones that I'd like to share that was we got really good feedback on, and it's so surprising, but people really like our true crime episodes. Like those
Mhm,
were like really popular. Like people would like, message us and like, we'd get good feedback. But for those that don't know, those are really hard to do. Like it's a lot of research. The first
mhm,
time we did it, I had to record my part twice. Like I don't know even know if you remember that, but it was just like it's harder than it looks because it's one huge chunk of time that only one of us is speaking because we're listening to the other person basically tell the story. And
mhm.
I found that challenging. And you have to research. You have to make sure what you're telling people is like accurate and you're not making shit up and stuff like that. And but I think that those are always really fun, and people, I think our listeners really liked the true crime. I love true crime, so I thought that those were fun episodes.
Yeah, those are definitely a different take. I listen, well, I used to listen to a lot more. I don't listen to them too often now, but yeah, I used to be a listener of true crime stuff, and the amount of research that goes into it.
Yeah,
If you
is
wanna deliver really thorough and engaging content for, like, that kind of stuff, it's like, yeah, you have to be really invested, and, a lot of the times, if we're not planning these episodes ahead of time, we're like, we've got 2 weeks. That's it. You record, you edit,
yeah,
research, or whatever, all of that goes in, like,
yeah.
2 weeks, and um,
With
you
life,
know,
the rest everyone's lives like
we've
so
got things to
moving.
do on the weekends, we've gotta feed ourselves, we have to
Yes.
work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, I think, um, we could have dedicated more time, but, we're not perfect, but I think
We did
that's
the best we could. I think we did the best we could, and I hope that everyone like enjoyed, the last 2 years, and just this whole ride with us was like super fun. Like seriously, like 5 years ago, who would have thought that we would have done something like this? Like I didn't even know you at that time, and you're like one of my best friends. So,
mm,
really you never really know like where life like takes us. So I
yeah.
just really hope that people enjoyed.
I think, and I feel like I'm being like just like the negative Nancy about why we aren't doing this anymore. I think one of the other reasons why I felt okay about ending this podcast is because I felt like to have these hangouts, these chatting things. Sometimes I would decide to not like text you because I'm like, I'm gonna share this with Anna, like when we have like, like, I'm gonna save it because this is so good. I wanna chat about it
Yeah, yeah.
when we get on the episode, but sometimes I forget, and so then I just miss the entire moment. I'm like, I shouldn't be withholding information.
Yeah. I didn't
It
even know you were doing that until you mentioned it
yeah.
to me, like, recently. I was like, "What?" Like
Yeah, because I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh, I wanna chat about you, about this Am I the Asshole article that we found," but we don't share it until, like, we're
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the
And
episode,
we're
but it's
trying
like
to make it like like we don't, like not catch each other off guard, but make it like a realistic like
yeah,
reaction, I
true
guess.
reaction, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like, "Oh, I can't text her about it."
You can talk to
So,
me about something else.
no, I wanted to text you about that one thing, and it's like so I found myself doing that a lot whenever we had, like, topics, but
Mhm.
it's like in order to have the true reaction or whatever, like, I
Yeah.
did feel like I was having to hold myself back from doing that, and it's like, yeah, we would sometimes before this whole podcast thing, I would just text her about like, "Oh, this is like a cool food place," and now that we're like toning it down and ending the podcast. It's like, yeah, have you gone to this coffee place and whatever?
Yeah.
It's like,
Have
that's
you
nice.
seen this bag before?
Have you seen this bag? What is this bag? That's all of my questions, really.
Yes. I love it. It's so funny because like there are certain people in my life that I'm like their bag person, I guess, and I'm very
Hmm.
honored. And I'll just get random tests like, "What do you think of this?" I love it.
Right, right, right.
It's
Because
so
I don't know
fun.
any better.
But it's very it's flattering. But yeah, like anyway, see, we're spiraling off topic, off topic.
And
But
that's okay. I
yeah,
think that was also a thing. It's like I felt like we just had too much pressure to just be in the outline. Like we had to stick to that outline. I think it was okay if we did end up spiraling and getting off tangent. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that
That's the
l-
fun part.
well, I mean that, and it kind of stunts like our natural conversation, and then it's like, oh yeah, we want to stay on topic and talk about this, but like, oh, did you know that there
Yeah,
was this like gossip from the
yeah,
celebrity thing?
yeah,
But it's like, oh, we're talking about true crime here. Oh, we shouldn't talk
yeah.
about.
Go back. That's true. That's true. I didn't even think about it
Yeah,
that way. Yeah.
I think like we may have like been going in a more rigid way,
Mhm.
and I wanted it to be like more natural because like when we talk like this, it's like
We
natural. It's
literally talk.
whatever.
You guys, like Mon and I sometimes like just to share, like last year, I think when the boys went to Comic-Con, like we had a
Mm.
sleepover and we stayed together for like maybe 48 hours or more, and we never ran out of things to talk about and like just kept on going. And I never like there's nothing to really get annoyed with. We're very like
Yeah,
laid back people, but it's just like
yeah.
the activities and just coffee and like I don't even know, we did pedicures and it's just like it's very natural for us to just go from like one topic and yeah, it's just like that's just the way we are. So yeah, anyways.
I mean, we weren't chatting the entire time, but like I think we were also okay with just being in each other's presence, which is,
Yeah,
sometimes like hard to do with people you're not
yeah,
comfortable
we were
around.
taking naps.
And we were taking naps on the couch,
Yes.
and sometimes I would take a nap without her. I'm going upstairs to nap. But it's like, yeah, it's like stuff like that where whatever happens, happens.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't know. I like you said, we definitely grew our friendship from here, and it's only upwards from here,
yes,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
you could say.
definitely.
And I think hopefully we don't disappoint too many people by ending this podcast, but I don't know if we do end up starting it back up again. Maybe don't unfollow us from
Yeah, that's
Instagram.
true. And you know what I was kind of thinking of doing lately? I actually wanted to kind of start from the beginning again and start me listening from the beginning. That's, you know what
Oh,
I mean? Like doing like a re I mean, that was 2 years ago. I've kind of thought
sorry.
about that lately, just like re-listen. So maybe if you guys didn't catch all the episodes or whatever, you could go back. And I don't know, for those that don't know, we only started on YouTube like after 1 year, I think it was,
Something
right?
like
So
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they'll still be out there. Just who
I
knows?
don't know how long we're gonna keep up our episodes though. That's the thing, is that's part of like the subscription model that we
Mhm.
have, is that the platform that streams, or I don't know the word for it. Um the one that uploads
Holds
all of
the
our episodes
yeah.
to, yeah.
Mhm.
Um it costs money to maintain that, and
Yeah,
if we end our subscription, our episodes will also follow.
yeah,
Like, they'll be taken off from any
yeah.
podcasting platform.
I have a
YouTube
plan.
channel.
Yeah,
What?
I kind of have a plan, but I'll tell you later.
Oh, what's the plan? Okay.
I mean, it's not
Tell me
really a
later.
plan. I was just gonna just continue it. Like I was just gonna let it go, or just like I was just
What?
gonna
You
continue.
wanna keep paying for it?
It's like it's not that much, and I there's a reason that I want to do it, but I'll tell you like
Are we not telling the
privately.
people?
No, it's like kind of I don't know. It's morbid, but like
Cool.
yeah,
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't know what you're talking
Okay.
about. Why is it
Okay,
morbid?
maybe keep this on because it's kind of funny, but
Why
we'll
is it
figure that out.
morbid?
It's just like if anything were to ever happen to me and I was no longer around, like I'd want like Noah to hear. He'd never listen to these episodes, so I think it would be fun for him to listen to them
This
when
is
I'm
for
no
you,
longer.
Noah.
I'm paying $12.99 a month for, but you know what's hella, but you know what I just thought of? We also have a drive that could keep all of that. Yeah, okay, never mind. But what if like I passed away and our YouTube channel finally blew up?
Stop. It's like it blew up because we passed away.
Yeah, stupid. You should have appreciated us while we were still here.
You took us for granted.
Yes,
That's so morbid.
I told you, but it's just like I don't know. I just thought that. Like I think that would be kind of cool.
Well, I think for the bright side, yes, if we did decide to come back, it's there, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we wouldn't lose it. I mean, we have a drive with everything on it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the big plan is to
yeah.
export and save everything on our drive that we
Mhm.
also pay for.
Yes.
That's also being funded. I think you're paying for it, right? Or am I paying
Yeah.
for it?
Because I paid for it because I was too lazy to like clean it up. So I just bought hella.
So, yeah, we'll put everything, final episodes, video, and audio on the drive.
Yeah. But I
And
think
then
for sure we'll keep up the podcast for a couple months at least. Like I don't plan on taking it down for a little while. And I think like once you stop paying for it, it doesn't get taken down right away. Like I think it takes like a couple weeks or whatever. So
oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
not like
And maybe it's like
instant.
the billing cycle or
Yeah, I
something.
actually looked it up already. So yeah,
Okay, cool.
okay,
So, you never know. Maybe we'll mention it on the stories. I don't know if
yeah,
like we'll say this is your last chance
yeah.
to listen and download.
Before I die.
No.
Okay. Okay. So Mon, are you want to keep chatting or are you ready to kind of
Oh, she's ready to go. She's ready to end it.
no, not that.
Is there anything after this podcast like that you think you're gonna do now that you have more time?
I don't know. Not really. I don't know. I can't find any freaking thing to read right now. Like
Oh,
we're
book
both in a
slump.
read. Yeah, we're in a book slump. Not really. Like I don't really have anything that I planned on. I should be working out more. I should be
Oh,
like, I really should get back into working out. But
you're walking
no,
a lot, no?
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I feel like, you know how like you feel there's times in your life that you feel kind of lazy. I feel kind of
Hmm.
lazy. Yeah.
Every day of my life.
But I just like, I don't know. Oh, but the OA book club will continue, right?
I always thought that was like a separate entity. Like,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
it's separate. It's gonna
Yeah. Shout
happen.
out to the
But
OA book club.
even even then, that's a little bit more few and far between, just
Yeah.
because of timing and stuff,
Mhm.
schedules and whatever.
Mhm.
Um, but that will still happen.
What
What
about you,
else?
Mon? What do you plan on doing, like with all your extra time that we have now?
Uh, I think I'm gonna try and put some focus back on like my small business or whatever and whatever is left of it. So if you still wanted like an OA candle or whatever, they are still on my website. I think they're on sale right now. So
They're
go
a
check it
memorial
out.
candle now.
Oh, no, I don't have one of those. Maybe I should. um,
Tribute
no, I'm
candle.
gonna focus on that, and that requires almost like the same amount of like effort as like this
I'm sure
podcast,
it's
if not
more. It's
more.
got to be
So
more.
it's like
Yeah.
trying to go like back on socials. I wanted to like try some new stuff. I mean, I think I'm like in this era of just like trying new things. Um, what is it called? I'm trying to learn to do nails. Um, I'm curious in streaming. I don't even know if I should say that. I'm thinking about like what it takes to stream because we have microphones, we have cameras.
Mhm.
I like playing games online.
Ooh.
Um we already do a lot of talking on here, so why not talk
Mhm.
to people in live chat? If
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
thing. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. That'd be an interesting thing to try. Why don't you add like something else new to the resume of
Yeah, why
things
not?
to try? Um, what else? Oh, I wanted to get back to like editing actual stuff for like my YouTube channel too. I have
Yeah,
like all the like vlogs and footage from like trips and um uh when we were
outings.
selling at like Comic-Con and stuff like that. I wanted to get around to
Oh,
editing those. I know it's like gonna be basically a time travel thing because it was so long ago, but whatever.
that's okay.
It's in the same like morbid way. I'd like to have something to look back on
Mm,
later in life
yes, yeah.
or someone else after me.
Yeah, so Mon will be out there, you guys. Like Mon will,
Yeah.
hopefully still be doing stuff. And
We're
I'm
doing a
sure,
lot of creative stuff,
yeah,
whether it's making candles or making videos or
yes, yeah,
making streams or something
yeah,
like that.
for
We'll be making
sure.
something.
Definitely.
So, yeah, what else did we covered the highs? Did we cover the highs?
We covered the high. I think we've covered highs and lows, like the lows of like we're
Did we cover the
tired.
buffaloes?
What are
Have you
buffalo?
ever heard of that saying, like the high
No,
low buffalo?
no. What's a
It's like
buffalo?
it's like a well, that whole segment, the high low buffalo, is like a
Mhm.
conversation topic. So it's like, oh, what is a high thing? Like, what's a great thing,
Mhm.
memorable thing? What's a low thing that's like wasn't so great?
Mhm.
And then buffalo is something random, something interesting, something you're curious about. That doesn't necessarily mean bad or good. It was just like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
yeah.
Is
I
there
don't
something
know.
about our podcast that was like a buffalo thing?
The one of the things that comes to mind, and this I don't even know if I'm using it in the right context, is that just like you really don't know who's listening to you because there's a lot of people that don't say anything. Like
Mhm.
I would get like after we were like a year and a half on the air or like whatever, like a random message from like a very old friend or like a relative that you
Oh.
barely talk to and was like, I've been listening to you guys for a really long time. I just never, like I do that with all kinds of stuff where I'm online looking at stuff, but I never like, rarely comment or say anything. And I think that that was something that always kind of blew my mind. Like you really don't know who's listening. I still don't know if my mom listens or watches because, um,
Oh.
I don't know if she sees it on like Winnie's TV sometimes whenever I'm there. I always think that like, I wonder if my
Oh,
mom scrolls
yeah.
through their YouTube and sees like us on TV, but she's never said anything. So I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's random. What about you? What's your buffalo?
My buffalo. Oh, well, I guess it didn't really happen. We we were trying to make this last episode like going out with a bang, right?
Mhm.
And we had this bright idea. We're gonna finally record in person.
Yes,
We were
together.
gonna do this episode in person
Mhm.
and be actually like talking face to face
Yeah.
for once. Unfortunately, our schedules again, because we live miles apart, it's not as easy to coordinate that.
Mhm.
And we obviously still want to stick to our schedule, so it's like,
Yes. Yeah, and like we said, we have our regular everyday lives, and it's technically harder to do when you're in the same room because of like sound and like all. I know like you and Jay were like this. I have no clue how we would have done it, but like it's different when you're like
mhm,
together. So, but then I kind of feel like it's cool. This was like always our thing, so we
oh,
ended like So I think this is okay.
yeah. But I think, it would I think it would have taken it to like the next level of like if we could have made it more in person,
Mhm.
if we could have swung it some way, um, that would up our production level. But then I was like, why make it such high production for our very last
Yeah, that's true.
episode?
Maybe if we start up again, we can try something different.
Yeah, maybe if we
Yeah.
hear from enough people, maybe we'll bring it back. We're not
We'll
holding
see.
you hostage at all.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. I will definitely miss it. Like when I was logging on today, I was like, dang,
Mhm.
I can't believe this might be the last time that we're doing this. Like, Av didn't even know. Like, he knew we were recording, but he didn't know we were recording like the last episode. He's like,
Oh, he
"What? You guys are
didn't?
recording the last episode already, or whatever?" But I do like feel a little like a little bit nostalgic, but then also not, because I also feel like it changes nothing with us. Like you guys, like when
Mhm.
Mon and I are together, like we barely talk about the podcast. Like we like every topic in the under the sun besides the podcast. Like
We're like,
so.
"Oh, I'm gonna see you Saturday. We'll talk about it then." We never talk about it
Yeah,
during
yeah,
the thing.
exactly. I think that that's why I don't feel sad about it, is because I feel like it doesn't change anything with us. I think I am a little sad if we're disappointing anyone. So,
Mm,
sorry about
we're
that. But
sorry.
yeah, but it's I think it's just time. Like
You
all
can still
things come on.
follow us on our
Yeah,
individual socials. I don't
yes.
really post too often.
Yeah, she doesn't.
I'm trying to. I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
she's better. I post a little, but also not very much.
Yeah, you could
It
stay in
depends.
the loop with us
Yeah.
on there, kind of.
Yeah, in our IG will not be going away. We'll still be keeping that. It's free,
That's
so
not
we're
on
keeping it.
that's not on the work account, right?
No, 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 no. It's
Okay.
attached to my personal one, I think.
Okay,
So
awesome. Oh,
yeah, it's just the YouTube.
oh,
YouTube. Yeah.
I thought it was a separate account too. Okay.
No, no.
We got to work some logistics in the back.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. So
On the
yeah.
back end that needs
Yes.
some improvement, so we'll work on it. Um, let's see. Hello Buffalo. Why we're ending it. Mm, is that it?
I think that's
Well, friends, I don't even know if we should do the intro of like all or outro of like all the stuff. Like, be sure to follow us, like,
Yeah, yeah. I
subscribe.
mean, there really isn't a reason for it, but I mean, like, I guess we'll still be around. Feel free to say hi to us, like online. Like, we're still on Instagram. I'm Ava Mads on Instagram. I'll put that. I think I have
I
it
know she
somewhere.
removed it from her.
Yeah,
I
I
know you
never
were
had.
never Ava
I
Mads
never had it.
anything.
So
You always had the above average.
yeah, we still have our IG accounts. Like, we'll still be around. So it's not like we're disappearing. We just won't be hanging out every 2 weeks, but and showing you
On
guys.
here.
Yeah, on
On
camera.
here.
But we
We're
hang out.
also we're actually hanging out.
That's our thing. We always say 2 weeks isn't like our thing. Like if we
Any
haven't,
longer is kind of weird.
yeah, any longer, if like you could kind of feel it when we haven't seen each other for 2 weeks. It's just
Mm,
like, hey, what's happening? Why
yeah.
are we?
Are
Yeah. So,
you okay?
anyways, yeah, yeah. But anyways, yeah, just like thank you. Like we
Thank you,
love you.
everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like we're
Big hugs.
so yeah, big hugs. We're very just like
Grateful.
yeah, very grateful. Just yeah, just very like humbled for all the support that we've received. And yeah, I mean, we'll be around. So yeah.
It was a great experience. I guess we can kind of call ourselves podcasters.
Yeah, we're podcasters.
And yeah, I think while bittersweet, I think it's a good place to end for now.
Yeah, yeah. And we also met a bunch of new people through this, so that was also always and also a very fun experience. So we're just very, very grateful for this like community that we've built in the last couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. It's an experience that we definitely won't forget. And who knows what the future holds?
Yes, for sure.
How do we end this thing? Until next time.
Stay OA in the best way.
I don't know if there's a next time.
It's okay. We can still say
it. Stay OA in the best way, even after our podcast.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you for everything.
One hand wave.
Woo, you did it.
Did it. Great for the first or last episode.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Lovely. Okay.